Hello everyone, welcome to Inspired by Yvette. In this video, we are going to put together this beautiful butterfly pop-up card project from Cricut Design Space. So Cricut has this listed as an intermediate project, but I still consider myself a beginner and I think a beginner can do it. Just take your time, figure out what colors of cardstock you want to use. Pause the video as you need to, grab your beverage of choice, and you will be just fine. Okay, so I made this card for my parents for their anniversary, and when I originally cut it out, I decided to just cut out 2 of the project. So I do have some pieces that need to be recut. As you see, I cut this one on cardstock that was not long enough in the corner, so I will have to recut this piece. I also have to recut the inside of the butterfly's wing, and then we also have to cut out the envelope. So this is a 1 to 2 hour project. I broke it up originally. I did my cutting one night and then I put it together the next day, so it didn't seem to take as long. I am speeding this video up due to the loveliness of editing. So what I'll do is just show you in Design Space how I delete the parts that I don't need. I'll show you how you can find the project, and then we will cut it out together and we will put it together. So what I'll do is slow the video down now. I'll let the live audio play some and then I'll come back to speeding it up. Just having a good day. My day started out kind of slow because I didn't sleep last night. So it may be reflected in my voice. I hope not. Okay, so let me bring some of this down on the canvas so you can see what I'm doing. These are the pieces. I'm going to enlarge this just a little bit. Let's see, where did it go? Okay, so these pieces are good. I don't need to recut that. Need to cut the envelope. This piece is good. This piece is good. I just need to recut that part of the butterfly, but not the black part. And we have all these pieces over there too. Those are all black. So I'm not sure what color I'm going to do the wings. I think I'm going to do a, I'm gonna try pink. Now, if you are new to Cricut, if you want to learn how to get this project into the canvas, you probably already, you may know, but right up here to, over here to projects, you go there. I would just type in butterfly. I'm trying to hold the iPad while I type butterfly pop-up. Let's just see what if that'll bring it up. Yes, so see, it's right there. So if you wanted to make this, you just click on that. This is the way they made it, just like that. And so you click on that, go down here to customize, and you would bring it onto your canvas. So it's asking if I want to replace what I already have there, and I do not. So you can just put it on your canvas and it'll bring all those parts in. Cancel that. So all of that will be brought in just like this, the way they have it there. And it's really ready to make, but if you want to make some alterations to it, you can. All right, let me go back to my canvas. And I'm going to click make it just so you can see. We're going to do it on the mat, 12 by 12 mat, continue. And so now we see I need 3 different mats, one with the wings, one with the outside card, one for the envelope. And the envelope does need to be a 12 by 12 sheet of paper because it's fitting a 5 by 7 card. Okay, so I'm going to pause it here, grab my paper, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I am back 2 hours later. I had to eat lunch. I thought about taking a nap, but I did not. Okay, so I have my paper. Let me show y'all. So I have 3 mats of paper. And I decided to go with this for the outside. We will see. It is kind of a peachy color. So let's see, we'll see how that looks. So I have my 3 mats ready to go. Up here to the green where it says make it, we are going to do on the mats, 12 by 12 mat, continue. Because the paper that I have is only a slither of paper, I'm going to adjust this. This is the paper that I have on the mat, as you can see. It's just a remnant of paper. So I'm going to adjust the butterfly wings to fit that paper. We're gonna take this arrow, turn them sideways, put it in that corner, take this one, turn it sideways, and put it at top. And that is above the 3-inch mark. And according to my paper, that will fit. Okay, so we'll go to the second mat and go down here to the green and hit continue. It's going to connect with my Cricut maker. And we will select our material, which will be, I'm going to go with cardstock, light cardstock, 75 pound, with more pressure, just because I want a clean cut. We're going to need the scoring wheel, which I do have, and since I have the maker, I will use. If you have a Cricut Explorer, you will have the option of doing a scoring stylus. You'll go right here to edit tools, click that and select scoring stylus and apply. But I'm going to use the wheel because it'll give me a clean score line. So it tells me what to put in. I'm going to put in the scoring wheel and we're going to load the mat. And let me make sure, actually, no, I'm gonna do the butterfly mat first. Okay, so we're gonna go with just the blade and put that in. Okay, so I'm going to move this, get this situated, and I will show you what we have when I get back. Okay, not sure if y'all can see very well, but I'm going to load this mat. Make sure it's between the 2 guidelines right here, and we're going to hit the flashing arrow to load the mat. The Cricut is going to read the paper, read where it needs to cut. We're going to hit the C that's blinking to start. Matter of fact, just as a quick tip, I forgot, when I cut this before, cutting this type material, I cut it on cardstock for intricate cuts because I wanted to make sure all of these little holes and everything got cut out good. So when I get to this one, I'm going to change my setting to cardstock for intricate cuts, and that'll give us a good cut. Okay, so this one calls for the scoring wheel because this is the outside of that card that has to be folded. It is going to do a double score line, so I'm going to use, I'll show you, my scoring wheel. And it has these gears on the back side, so this back side is what goes toward the machine. So everything lines up. And we'll just click it on there, and we'll load this one. To pull this away from it. Just be careful with these pieces. Make sure you don't bend them too much. Okay, so that part is done. Next, I need to go ahead and put in a fine point blade. That's what my laptop is telling me. So we'll take this out and we will put the blade back in. This is all going in clamp B. A is for the pins and for the stylus. Okay, I got that in, so I'm going to hit go. I'll turn the mat over and pull the mat away from my card. Just be careful with this part because this is a very delicate design and you don't want to tear your butterfly. So just go slow and it'll come off. And then it leaves all of that. So we'll just take that off. Okay, so time to take this wheel off and we'll put the blade back in. Make sure. Yep, 9-point blade will hit the go. Then I'm going to put my color sheet back on my mat and hang it up. I'll hang them right here on the side. Okay, so while that's doing that, I'm going to get my weeding tool and just get all of the little, make sure all the pieces came out of the butterfly. Okay, so we're done cutting. Unloading that. We are done. I was thinking about using some of that vinyl from the mystery box and putting a saying on the front of the card. I'm gonna turn this off and close the Cricut and pull it back out of the way because its job is done. Yeah, I was thinking about using the some type of vinyl and putting a saying on the front of the card, but most of the vinyl that was in that box was, well, it was gold and navy, but I have nothing else navy over here. I don't know how the navy would look. Okay, so I think that looks good. Can you see it? Not really. Yeah, that's pretty. But you see the double score line? That is needed because this card is so thick. So make sure that when you do the score, that you go ahead and do both score lines. Fold both score lines because the card needs that room to fold. Make sure I do it right. I don't know if you all can tell, it's textured. Can you tell the texture in the Cricut cardstock? Right there, maybe you can. But it has a texture to it, which is really nice compared to some of the others. I think this one came out of a pack I got off Amazon, and it's just a smooth cardstock. But anyway, so let's get to putting this together. Let me clean up. Let me get my envelope to get that done. So we're pulling the mat away from the envelope. Just be careful because the paper I'm doing this envelope out of is actually kind of thin. But it's paper I've had, I want to say, I know I've had this paper since, what was it? We moved here in 2005. I've had it since then, probably 2006. Not, what's before 2005? 4. I know it must have been 4 or 2003. I've had it a long time. So I'm glad that I thought to use it to make some envelopes. It was like a variety pack of paper. So I'll go ahead and fold the envelope. Okay, so we're gonna fold the envelopes both ways. You could do the envelope where the white side is on the outside, and when this is wrong, it goes this way. When they open up the card, then they'll get the piece of that. Or you can do, and then if you're going to mail it, you know, it would be better probably to have the white side. But, or you could do it where the inside is white, which is what I'm going to do because I like the pretty pattern on the outside. So if I mail this, I will just put a label on it. That's all. Pretty. So let me go ahead, grab my chair and get over here so we can put this together. Let me clean the mat off. Right here on the sealant. I could rip this, but you know, I just like to cut it. So we'll put a piece of double-sided tape here to to seal the envelope. So that is our envelope. Okay, so let's work on the card. Let's work on, I don't know, let's work on these petals. Okay, so these petals come 3. You have 3 here. It is a small, a medium, and a large. Okay, so I know the medium has the score lines in it. So it's scored between each petal. So I'll just go ahead and fold this a little bit while I'm on here. Fold all the score lines. That's the tab to close it. So we'll fold that back. But fold all the others. Fold that one back. We'll fold this tab back. And then we'll go and do each petal. And I may go ahead and fast forward through putting this together, just because putting this card together does take a little bit of time. You don't want to rush. I don't like to feel rushed because when I rush, I mess up and then I feel bad about it, you know? So just take your time and do it right. You know, I know this is a YouTube tutorial, a YouTube video, so you know, nobody wants to sit here all day and watch me put together a card, but this is what I do, you know? So if this is fast forwarded, you know why. Okay, so that held that. And then we'll leave these. So that's the medium one. We'll work with the small one. I saw another YouTube tutorial today, actually. I was looking when I was on break. I was looking at a video and her name was Rhonda, and she had some good tips on doing it. She kind of colored her petals with some ink. We'll put a little glue on the tab right here, and then we just hold it. We'll put it right there. One thing I like about glue is it is more flexible. You have a little bit of wiggle room to move it before it dries. And just hold it for a second and let it kind of set. Okay. She took I believe she took something like this, and she turned her petals, where did I glue that at? Let me hold it there. She took that and she took her petals and kind of bent them a little bit. So I'm gonna do that because I thought it was really pretty what she did. Just to give the petals a little bit of a curve. We'll see. This will be my first time doing this. I've only put this card together one time, so I may not be the person to be trying to teach somebody else how to do it. I'm gonna bend this one too. But I know when I was putting it together, it was a few videos out there, but I'm a visual person. I like to see people do stuff. There's no way I could read these instructions and figure out what to do with this card. Fold the tabs back. And we'll fold these right here back. You will see exactly where these go in a little bit. If you are still on here watching, I appreciate it. Put that to the side. Let's work on the butterfly real quick. Not real quick, but it is important to note that this butterfly has 4 parts, 2 parts for each side. So the holes right here, they need to line up, the slits rather. Those slits need to line up because that's going to play a role in everything functioning in a little bit. So make sure you have the right side butterfly with the right one. I'm going to have to double check what I have here. When it's all put together, it fits like this. Okay, so that's how you know it fits in there like that together. So that's the right side, this is the left side. We're just going to take our weeding tool and make sure all the little holes are clear of cardstock. All the cuts are clear. Okay, so we'll take this is the inside piece we just cut. And this is I like the texture side on top. So I'm gonna put that one over here. We're gonna put this one. Let's go ahead and take these pieces out too. We're gonna work on putting glue on this one. Just, you know, I have a fine tip glue. Ooh, that's why I said I should work on a piece of paper. Just put some dabs of glue throughout. This glue holds pretty good. Try not to get it too thick because, you know, you don't want it squeezing out. It does dry kind of clear, but you still try not to make a mess. Be clear of your slits over there. Make sure you don't glue your slits. Back, so our butterfly, I have that glued. I went ahead for our petals and I put double-sided tape on the back of those. It'll make sense in a minute, but I did that to speed it up. I did want to show you this. This is the stem that goes kind of around on the inside of the petal. So it has score lines, and it has score lines, I think about 4 here. So we need to make sure we go ahead and fold those, you know, bend it. It'll help with the, and then this tab on the back, I believe that bends backwards. And then we'll bend the tabs here backwards so it can stick down in the card when it's time. So that's that, and this is what we'll just glue. We'll just glue that little piece, that tab down. So I need to glue that tab down. Should have done that part. Okay, so I'm going to just hold it, let it kind of set. You can bend these out a little bit if you want to, you know, curl them out so they look a little more authentic when they're down in there, when they're down in the card. So that's that. It's like a, you know, hexagon. What do you call these? Is this a stem? What do you call this? I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and work on this. This is the leaves. These go down in here. You will notice there are 4 slots. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 on both sides. We are going to start with the biggest petal, the biggest leaf petal first, and it's going to start from here, and we're going to work our way inward with those 3. So the biggest, medium, little. Biggest, medium, little. So that's what I'm going to do. I already put the double-sided tape down, so hopefully that doesn't mess me up because I haven't done that before, but let's see. Okay. So I'm going in the last slit. Okay, we'll turn it over. Try to make sure it's centered there in there before you press it down. And since I already have the tape there, that should, and then this will hold it. That's not centered, but you know what? It's not in the way. Okay, we're gonna go to the middle leaf. We're gonna do the same thing, except we're going to go in the next slit over. So we'll go in the 3rd slit and we'll put this in there. Go in your slit. So you can see it from the back side. Just put it kind of in the center there and pull it over and let it stick. You can use glue to do this. It's fine to use glue. I was just trying to save time, you know, trying to hurry up. Okay, and then our last, the middle one, we're gonna do the same thing, just go in the next slit over. So let's put that in there on that side, and then we'll put it on this side. Okay, look at it from the back. Same thing, let it just fall on top of those. And on this side, we'll just pull it over and let it fall on top of those. You can hold it a little bit just to kind of make sure it's secure. All right, so that is that's the base of the flower. And so it will fold like this, okay? So you can start to fold it just to kind of get it trained on what it's supposed to do. Okay, so now we have these two black pieces. This is to go down in here to hide the green part when the butterfly is sitting like on top, just to make it more aesthetically pleasing. This really is a nice card. Whoever made it or whoever designed it they thought of everything. So those two pieces go down in here in the bottom. I got one of those little, get out of there. Okay, so what I'll do is just put a little bit of glue. It is easier to attach this before you put the stem in. I didn't do it that way the last time and I struggled. So you put this on here. I mean, it's not the end of the world if this is not in there, because it has no functionality toward the card working, but it is, you know, it's there, so you may as well put it in there. Okay, and then the other one I'm going to put on the other side, just a little bit of glue to hold it down. Oh, it goes this way. Make sure you do not cover your last slit when you're doing this, because that does need to be open. So we'll hold that down in there. Yeah, your last slit needs to be open to fit the butterfly and to fit the stem. I mean, we need this card to work. Okay, what goes next? I think this goes next. Okay, I should have put tape on this. You know why I didn't? Because I did that. I did that off camera. I could just use glue. I'll use glue. It's not it. I'll use glue. All right, so this, I'm going to put it in. I'm gonna put it in. It can go in either one, to be honest. I don't think it matters. But we'll put, because both of them gonna have to, the butterfly gonna have to go in this last slit also, because it's only 4 slits and it's 5 parts. So we'll put it in the last slit, and then but the key is it does need to turn that way, because the butterfly, when it comes in, it has to be able to go through, okay? So make sure you keep it going the direction the others went. We'll put a little glue. And hold that. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. Pull it over slightly. And then hold that until it sets. Just enough to stick. Okay. So that's that. Isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. I love this card. It looks like, you know, it looks like you did a lot. Well, you would have done a lot if you do this card, but it's not hard. It's not as hard to put in. What am I doing? Okay, it goes this way. It's not as hard to put in as you think it is, you know? Am I doing this right? I done got myself mixed up. Okay, it goes in a second slit. I told y'all I only put this together one time. It goes like this, okay? So what I'm going to do, which is what the Rhonda that I saw her video did, is she used a toothpick, which is what I should do. I'll be right back. Okay, so I don't have a toothpick, but I have a skewer, so Let's see, I'm gonna drop a little bit of this glue on this butcher paper to pick it up. And she used a toothpick, but just put a little glue there. Get some down in that slit, because otherwise I found with the other card that I did is this wants to pop up for some reason. Okay, that's excess. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, so we'll let that do like that. It'll still, just that glue should hold that in there better. And then, where is the body of the butterfly? Didn't I have the butterfly? Oh, here it goes. Ugh. Okay, so here's the body of the butterfly. We want to go ahead and fold him inward. You just fold them with your hands, because you can use this and kind of give you a sharper fold. Okay, so he's folded. He goes right here. So we are going to go ahead and put a little glue there too, just to keep him in place, because he doesn't want to. It's like he want to pop out. And this glue is going right down in the slit where he is, just enough to encourage him to stay where he needs to be, because see the little arms right there? They go in the slit closest to the wing. That's one side. Trying to do this and see if y'all can see me. I'm still messing up. Okay, this popped out. One thing about it, you know, if something pops out, it can slide right back in. It's just, you know. Okay, so he's down, the butterfly down. Everybody is where they should be. Okay. You get that little bit of glue. So these two stems go in that 4th slot. So this does take because there's so much going on here, it takes a little maneuvering, but you can get it. Just take your time. You know, no one's rushed like that. I'm too busy trying to make sure y'all can see, and I can't pay attention to myself. Okay, let's grab them. So there we have both. So what I'm going to do is double-sided, so I'm going to put one going that way and one going this way. A little bit of glue, and so that keeps that. Just hold it and just take your time and hold it until it tacks down. Put a little more glue. And when this is all done, it'll hold, because this entire base has to be glued onto the card anyway. So we'll do this one. We'll hold that. Okay, so this can sit, isn't that pretty? So this is the base of the card. That's it. So this is this part we already kind of done. This part of it, this goes, let's move him right there. Okay, so this one goes on this side. This side goes on this side. You'll see, notice there are score lines around this, and that is because this is a pocket. This slides inside of that. So you don't have to really fold that. Just know don't glue outside of that score line, okay? So this is how that goes. I'm trying to decide if I want to leave this green or put me a piece of white cardstock behind this. I think I will. Hold that thought. I'm just gonna take a little bit of glue and I'm going to glue it down just because I think the white is prettier than the green behind the butterfly, at least. So we'll just put a dab there. Let's put a few dabs. It should hold it because we still have to glue the other cardstock down too. I'll probably tape it. Okay, so then I'm just, I guess you all can see, but I'm just gonna lay that on there. So as you can see, I'm just going to use some double-sided tape here on that part of the card, and we'll just tape it down like that. I will go ahead and admit to you all, I did not like the white. I don't know what I was thinking, but after I looked at it and I was done, and I thought I should have left it green. So yeah, so you'll see that what I did to the end to put the little green on the front, but I did like the green on it. If anyone's wondering the type of glue that I'm using, it is called Barely Art Glue. You can get it off Amazon, but it is cheaper from the company's website. So I'll put it in the description box if anybody's interested in it. I do love, love, love this glue. It doesn't warp your paper, it doesn't leave anything wet, and it's just a great glue to use for paper crafts. Okay, so for this part, just make sure to glue those three sides. You don't want to glue that part where the little tab is. Don't accidentally glue that part. Just glue the three sides and stay within those the score line. So now we'll get ready to go ahead and glue everything down, glue the middle of our card down, and we are just about done. It should go like this. So we will glue, you know, I'm going to put glue on everything. Just because I don't really, you don't have to glue all the petals down. They can be free floating. I'm gluing all of mine down because just to keep it from, you know, I don't know, maybe getting bent. Close it, and that should do it. That should do it. Hopefully I did that right. Yep. So we're gonna let that glue down, like hold down for a little bit. I'll pause and I'll come back. I thought about putting a saying and vinyl on here, but I don't know who I'm giving this to, so I don't know what the saying should be. Thinking about you. That's pretty. So this is just something I added. I wanted to put a sentiment on the front of the card. So I did a white offset of white cardstock. That's what I use. And then hunter green vinyl that you see here is some vinyl that I got in a mystery box. And so I used that for the actual words. It came out really pretty. So you'll see me here weeding the design out. It is a fine cut font, or kind of thin font, so to speak. So I had to really take my time and make sure that I didn't mess up any of the pieces. So that's what you'll see me doing here, is weeding out the design. I decided I was going to give this to some of our friends. His mother passed away, so I'm going to make this a sympathy card. So the sentiment says, "For our dear friends," and then on the little white card, I'll just put "with deepest sympathy." I may have the Cricut write that out, or I may write it out myself. We'll see. So I thought it was a nice card for sympathy. As I said, this is a good card really for any type of occasion. It can be anniversary, it can be thinking about you, it can be get well, so any type of occasion you may need. Just, you can change out the front of it. You don't even have to put a sentiment on the front, really. It's up to you. Just do you. Okay, so I'm still weeding out. You see the middle of the D and that little fancy F. I struggled with the O, but we got through it. So I left this part in because I wanted you to see when weeding out words, how sometimes you just take your time and it works out. So now I am just working with the transfer tape, trying to get that peeled up. I'm going to use the transfer tape to take the design off of that backing and put it onto the white cardstock. So just keep watching. You'll see what I do. You'll see why I decided not to take it off of the white cardstock yet, because all of the white cardstock was not attached. And so in order to keep everything straight and to make it easier on me, I left the whole cutout of the white cardstock right there. So you'll just keep watching, you'll see. And I'm just burnishing that down, trying to make sure everything adheres well. I had to cut another slither of transfer tape for the top of that F. My piece was a little too short, so that's what that was. And I burnished down, and I had to keep burnishing down, but you'll see. You will see. If you are this far in the video, you're in the home stretch. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please do. Please subscribe. Please like the video if you found any kind of help whatsoever in the video. And I guess even if you didn't like the video, it will help the channel out and it'll help me create more content. Okay, so I'm just burnishing that down, still trying to lift it off of there. Fixing the, what is that, the D? I think I'm fixing the D. Fixing that with my weeding tool. Okay, and then that's why I left it all on there together, so that I could line it up there. And then when time to put it on the card, it would be easier to do it that way. Okay, and you'll see how it can pop out right there. So we'll get ready to see. I wanted to lift it up a little bit, so you'll see I'm going to get some of the dots, the foam dots, and I will put those on the back of it. That way it has some dimension. So I thought that would be pretty. So I got those foam dots from $1.25 Tree, and I'm using those. I just put as much as you wanted. I didn't want the letters to sink in the middle, so I put a good generous amount of them on there. I did want to say, if anyone wants to learn how to do an offset on the words, in Design Space, just let me know. I can create a short video on that. It's not hard to do at all. So you can do a lot with the offset feature. So let me know if you'd like a video on that. You can mention it in the comment section below. So we're done. I straightened that up and it is on there. It is so pretty for our dear friends. So I think they will like that. I think they'll love it. Actually, I love it. So it's such a pretty card, such a statement piece. Here you see me curling the edges of those petals again, because as I folded the card and kept smushing it, trying to make it fold, I flattened my petals. So keep that in mind, that if you push them together, they're going to flatten, but it is such a pretty card. Standing up, laying down, and then you see the little insert on the side. We're done. We are done. I always think handmade cards are so nice because you're giving the person a piece of you. All the time and effort we put into making this card, I think even our cuties love it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. This was my first tutorial, so it was definitely a labor of love. Just look at that. Very beautiful. So I learned a lot. I can only improve from here. If you made the card too, let me know in the comments below. And if you have any tips for me, let me know that too, so we can help each other out. And if you have absolutely no intention of making this card, but you still watched and you still enjoyed the video, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. And I'm sending you lots of love from South Carolina.